Hey folks, this is Rhykker with a gaming news wrap-up video where we discuss the happenings of the week. This week's topics include Lost Ark finally coming to the West, Diablo 2 Resurrected's release date revealed via leak, cross-region and cross-platform play coming for Blizzard games, and more. As always, discussion timestamps can be found in the description below, but right before you skip ahead, just a quick reminder to ring that sub notification bell to be alerted to new Saturday episodes and stay up to date with gaming news highlights. Now, before we move on, just a quick word from this video's sponsor, NordVPN. Not only is a VPN an important tool for keeping your data secure and encrypted on the internet, but it's also the best way to get around region-blocked content. You can use NordVPN to watch shows that are not available in your country, or to play video games that haven't yet released in your country. And NordVPN has over 5,400 servers in 59 different countries. And it's so user-friendly that you're basically one click away from hiding your IP or browsing the web from a different country. And one account lets you connect up to 6 devices, be they computers, phones, tablets, you name it. Plus, you can try NordVPN risk-free with a 30-day money-back guarantee. And right now, you can get a 2-year plan at a huge discount at nordvpn.com/Rhykker and use code Rhykker to get an additional bonus for free. It's risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. That's nordvpn.com/Rhykker to take control of your internet again. So, E3 officially kicks off later today, June 12th, and runs until June 15th. But we've already had some pre-E3 reveals and announcements. One big one is the Elden Ring gameplay reveal trailer. This highly anticipated game from Hidetaka Miyazaki, famous for the Souls series of games, sparked interest from more than just Souls fans when we learned that the game's setting and lore will be established by George R.R. Martin, the creator but not ruiner of Game of Thrones and the series A Song of Ice and Fire. Looking at the footage, it looks a lot like a Souls game, and it will be a Souls-like RPG, but set in an open world. Elden Ring releases on January 21st, 2022. We also got this week the official reveal trailer of Battlefield 2042, which is 100 battlefields off from my favorite Battlefield game. I love that the trailer embraces the insanity of some of the most memorable Battlefield gameplay clips from over the years, like jumping out of a jet, pulling out a bazooka, blowing up another jet, and then landing back inside the open cockpit of your jet to keep flying off. Battlefield 2042 will support up to 128 players in a battleground, and Eurogamer confirmed that the game will come with no Battle Royale mode, nor any campaign mode for that matter. The game releases on October 22nd. On to some EA news. We learned this week that hackers managed to break into EA's servers on June 6th and allegedly obtained 780 gigabytes of data, including the source code to the Frostbite engine, which was developed by DICE, a subsidiary of EA, and is basically the engine that all of EA's major games run on. With what they've obtained, the hackers claim that they now have, quote, full capability of exploiting on all EA services. It seems the only thing the hackers will never be able to steal from EA is a sense of pride and accomplishment. In some quick last Epoch news, Redditor stuck in a cycle and sad asked the devs to leak some cosmetics, and the devs obliged by posting the following in their Discord channel. Looking good. We know cosmetics will be a part of Last Epoch, but no cosmetics are currently available in-game. We still don't have a release date for Last Epoch, but multiplayer will likely come to early access this year. You can also expect me to release a full dedicated video about Last Epoch's latest updates in the near future. On to some Lost Ark news. It's finally happened. After tons of speculation that really built to a head this week, it's official. Lost Ark will release in North America and Europe this fall. After launching in South Korea in 2018, we've been waiting for this MMO ARPG to launch in the West. And while it has taken far too long, most North Americans and Europeans will be able to play soon enough. Unless you're from the Netherlands, or Belgium, or any country not on the list of selected countries. Yes, some unfortunate gamers have realized that Steam is telling them that the game is unavailable in their region, and looking into it further, you can find this list of approved countries. Now, I should specify that it's currently ambiguous whether this is just for the alpha, and whether the same country restrictions will apply to the full launch. But Right now, if your country's not on this list, you will not be able to play Lost Ark. Well, without some workarounds. Now, in the case of Belgium and the Netherlands, their exclusion likely has to do with the strict gambling laws in those countries that have been updated to cover loot boxes in video games. Now, people are mentioning VPNs as a solution here. If you spoof an IP from a country that has access to the game, then you should be able to play, right? Well, probably. But one thing to bear in mind is that if you're getting the game through Steam, and it does seem like that's how we'll be playing in the West, it's against Steam's terms of service to circumvent region locks with the VPN. The subscriber agreement states, quote, "You agree that you will not use IP proxying or other methods to disguise the place of your residence, whether to circumvent geographical restrictions on game content, to purchase at pricing not applicable to your geography, or for any other purpose. If you do this, Valve may terminate your access to your account." Now, Lost Ark is a free-to-play game, so some are saying that it's unlikely that Steam would ban you in this case. But it does seem that the safest thing to do would be to turn on your VPN, create a new Steam account just for Lost Ark, and always ensure that you are properly logged into your VPN whenever you run Steam on that account and play Lost Ark. Even then, you do run the risk of being banned, but at least you won't lose your main Steam account in that case. And since we're on the topic, just another quick shout out to this video's sponsor, NordVPN. Go to nordvpn.com/Rhykker and use code Rhykker for a discount. Now, the closed technical alpha for Lost Ark began yesterday, though it's under NDA, so don't expect to see any public streams or videos just yet. You can sign up yourself for the closed alpha on the website. I'll drop the link in the video description, along with a link to the gameplay announce trailer. We also got this week, for the Korean version of the game, the original one, the summer update trailer. Link to that below as well. Summer update is slated for June 19th. On to some Blizzard news. Blizzard has announced that their Battle.net launcher is going for global unity. Prior to this week, regions like America and Europe were completely separated, with separate friends lists for different regions. If I wanted to play on a European server, I would change my region from America to Europe, and then I'd basically have a completely fresh Battle.net account. Now, with this week's rollout of global Battle.net, all friends lists are being merged into one. A rep said, quote, "This is just the first step, and it will only get better from here. My guess here would be that in the future, we won't be divided by region for gameplay either. Currently in Diablo 3, for instance, if I change my region to Europe, I can't bring over any of my characters from America. Playing with friends in a different region always meant that someone had to make a new character. While I don't know whether things will change for existing Blizzard games, it is a huge indication that Diablo 4 won't have region locks, meaning whether you're from America or Europe, you'll be able to play with people from across the pond or other regions. Now, this Battle.net update also includes cross-platform functionality, which will allow devs to add cross-platform play into their games. That is, PC and console players will be able to play together, and console and other consoles. This is almost guaranteed to come to Diablo 4, and is already being implemented into Overwatch. Well, soon, at least. Yes, soon Overwatch players on PC, Switch, Xbox, and PlayStation will all be able to play together. Console players can choose to opt out of crossplay, so they don't get stomped by the PC Gamer Master Race players. But the PC players cannot opt out of crossplay, strangely. Crossplay will be enabled for all game modes except competitive. Competitive modes will be split into two pools. All different console players will get grouped together, and PC players get their own competitive mode pool. On to some Diablo 2 Resurrected news. It's looking like we may be getting a full release by the end of September, according to a new leak. So, wake me up when September ends. Cut that. Redditor Practical Brush 12, who has a reputation for legitimate leaks, including a precise and specific Diablo 4 leak prior to BlizzCon 2019, and a precise and specific leak about Diablo 2 Resurrected and the Rogue class 4D4 before BlizzCon line, as well as tons of other gaming industry leaks, has decided to grace the Diablo community with some breadcrumbs of information once again. When asked, quote, "Any word on a release date or public beta for Diablo 2 Resurrected?" Practical Brush replied, quote, "September 23rd, pre-order for beta access." Now, the most likely interpretation of this is that the game releases on September 23rd, with beta beginning sometime before that, but it's possible he meant that beta will begin on the 23rd. A September 23rd release date does sound quite reasonable. Q3 is what I was expecting for a D2R launch, with Immortal launching in Q4. In other D2R news, Blizzard has continued to hunt down the cracked versions of the D2R alpha lingering on the internet. We previously reported on how Blizzard sent a cease and desist to the modders or crackers who cracked the alpha and disseminated it on the internet. And while they seem to have complied, once something's out there, it's hard to make it disappear. So Blizzard has now sent DMCA takedown notices to GitHub, a repository hosting service used by coders around the world, and the world's largest host of source code, in order to remove dozens of versions of the alpha crack that had been uploaded to their servers. GitHub is complying and has sent notices to the owners of the content that it's removing that they have the option to contest the takedown request. One of these content owners, speaking to Torrent Freak, expressed that while he will not be contesting the takedown request, he doesn't believe Blizzard's efforts will ultimately be successful, stating that there are still plenty of copies around and that, quote, putting the genie back in the bottle is near impossible. On to some Diablo 3 news. This week we got a preview of upcoming Season 24, whose season theme will be Ethereals. Diablo 3's spin on Diablo 2's ethereal items. In Diablo 3's incarnation, ethereals will not break down and be destroyed forever like they do in D2, but they will vanish once the season ends. There will be 21 ethereals, 3 for each class, and they will be weapons that include a random class passive and a random class weapon legendary power, while also having fixed base stats and be generally more powerful than a regular ancient weapon. Their rarity will be somewhere between an ancient and a primal. The season will also include a complete rework to the monks in a set. You can check out my video for the full breakdown. PTR testing begins next Thursday and will run for 2 weeks. I'll be streaming the PTR. I stream on Twitch Monday, Wednesday, Friday, so come check it out. And that's gonna wrap up this week's video. But do be sure to have checked out last week's video, in which we discuss how a pirate decided to represent himself in court against Nintendo, and now owes $2.1 million. Thanks for watching. Special thanks to my Twitch, Patreon, and YouTube supporters for making these videos possible. If you like what you see on this channel and want to support the creation of more content, you can consider pledging on YouTube or Patreon, and unlocking behind-the-scenes content, monthly virtual hangouts, and more. If you enjoyed this video, please share it, check out these other videos, and subscribe to join Rhykker's Raiders for more gaming content.